So I've come here to Greece to test the latest version of the Range Rover Evoque. It has grown up. This is the diesel version of it in a mild hybrid sense. There's also a petrol version of it here. No mention of an electric version just yet. It probably is on a card somewhere in the future, but right now it's all about the diesel and the petrol and the mild hybrid. And of course, being a Range Rover, it has to go off-road. It has to do things that you just don't expect it. And we know this is only ever really going to be on the high street, but you know what? We still have to be able to get off-road. So make sure you hit the subscribe button because this is going to get really adventurous.
The Evoque has been on the market for 7 years, and the majority of people who bought it were new to the brand of Range Rover. Everything before the Evoque was boxy and big, but the Evoque was small and sexy. It actually defined the luxury crossover segment with the looks. It has a job to do though, and the first of them is to be a decent road car.
It is ultra modern, it is very comfortable, it is a place I would not mind spending a very long time in, driving for a very long way, either on or off the road. It makes a difference.
I have to admire the confidence of Land Rover team when they let us loose with the car across the hills of the Peloponnese and then into a riverbed where we got some instructions in Scottish.
Hello.
Okay, so we have a new air intake now.
Oh yeah?
It's not in the wing anymore.
Okay.
Yes, it's under the bonnet,
Yeah.
so it can breathe air from different places. Very good in the snow.
Okay.
Very good in deep water, but this is not very deep.
Alright.
Okay, as slowly as you can, I'm going to guide you to begin with. This wheel will rise in the air, and then you're on your own.
Will I put a hill descent on? Do we need to slow it all down or just control
No,
it?
do it.
Secret.
Just do it yourself. What you
All
think
right.
is right on the brake. Yeah? Slowly as you can.
Alright. He should be good. He's running. I'm driving. Oh, I see what he's at now. Okay. He's literally giving me the thumbs up there. We're going to lift into the air. Oh, we're doing the seesaw. We're going over the other side. Yes. Oh, I want that. This is quite technical now to do this. All right, yeah, we're good. Nice, thank you. Don't die is the operative word there. Try not to turn the car over. It is for a car that's meant to go up, you know, a high street and deliver the kids to school. This is serious stuff that it's able to do here as well. Obviously this isn't pure mud and dirt and filth. We're in the middle of Greece. We're not really going to get that. We're lucky to have the river here. It's not dry because it's only March. But still, it's very capable and it's also very comfortable. The seats have eucalyptus in them. Don't know what that's about. And Alcantara steering wheel, which gives me a beautiful feeling when I'm driving along. The hardest part is actually fitting between these poles that they've put up. That's the end of the off-road course. We're done. We're going to drift out to the left here and pull around to the right. We can go back onto the sort of dust tracks, which are there, up the hill. Now, Range Rover Evoque, the baby Range Rover, can do everything the big Range Rovers can.
The interior of the Evoque is really well put together with screens replacing most of the functions. The screens work well, but there are some confusing aspects. You have to be on the right screen to see the aircon buttons, then the physical wheel works very well. The dash layout is very good. Once you spec the electronic versions, the entry-level spec won't get this. Many people are now seeking an interior that hasn't harmed animals in the making. Range Rover are offering a number of finishes such as Kvadrat wool blend and Dynamica suede cloth, as well as eucalyptus and ultra fabrics options. They've added Apple CarPlay and Android Auto for all models, the optional clear sight rear view mirror that transforms into a HD video screen. I'd rather like the experience, but the visibility of the rear of the car is not that bad anyway. Constructed in 1881, the Corinth Canal connects the Gulf of Corinth with the Sardonic Gulf in the Aegean Sea. There are only 3 bridges over it, and we were being let drive over the railway bridge that hasn't been used in over 80 years.
I'm trying to use the clear view thing to see where the tracks are on the ground, which is quite good. Oh my fuck, if you look down this side. Oh my god, that is incredible. That is amazing out there. We're right above. What a drop. Like, that's straight down. If this bridge breaks, we're dead. Simple as that. Oh dear, the noise of the fridge making noise underneath us. That is wild.
All too soon, the experience was over and we were back on solid ground. When the event ends, the bridge will be returned to normal, so no one will be driving on that bridge ever again.
I fear nothing in the Evoke now. We have done everything that you could possibly do.
After we got back out on the road, I began to become curious about the hybrid system. Range Rover had made no mention of an actual full electric version of the Evoke, so I had to find out what their future is actually going to be.
Let's be clear, diesel is very much part of the powertrain offering at Jaguar Land Rover. We've continually invested in our diesel technology and we're being recognised for it. A 2018 report by True, that's the Real Urban Emissions Initiative, found that Jaguar Land Rover vehicles were the cleanest diesels amongst any OEM. And for the Range Rover Evoque, we've improved these diesels further. Our real-world NOx performance has improved by 90% since 2010. And that means our NOx today on a diesel engine is comparable to a petrol engine, but a diesel will continue to have 20% better fuel consumption and 20% lower CO2 emissions.
This is the first step in introducing hybridisation onto the Range Rover Evoque. Offered initially, it will be a 48 volt mild hybrid or MHEV. This is the first MHEV in Jaguar Land Rover and the first 4-cylinder petrol and diesel MHEV in the market segment. This technology brings 4 key benefits: up to 8 grams per kilometre CO2 saving and up to 6% reduction in fuel consumption. It gives you an improved performance with strong linear acceleration, and we also offer extended auto stop-start functionality. From late 2019, Jaguar Land Rover will be producing a plug-in hybrid version of the Evoque. The PHEV system offers 4 key benefits. Firstly, because the architecture is designed with hybrid in mind, again, all of the technology and components are packaged under the floor with no compromise to the vehicle.
Now, I hope you've learned a lot there about the future of Jaguar Land Rover Group, but it's time to get back into the off-road sections.
We have come down to a dried up riverbed, which is about as extreme as you get around here because there's no water in Greece. It's just like this all the time. And they've made these little piles of rocks. It's like an alien landed and put some little rocks out for us to follow. It's not completely dried up. There is a bit of river here. There's some riverbed. It's amazing looking. So what I'm doing is letting the car pull itself through the obstacle rather than me really interfering with it. So I've put on downhill descent, and mud and rut system is turned on as well, which means that each one of the wheels now is driven and can also brake individually as well. So if there's something losing traction, it applies brakes to that wheel and applies power to another one to get you back out of it again. So it's actually very, very clever system. It is a Range Rover system, so you can get on any of them, including the Land Rover Discovery, whatever else you want to get as well. So it's on all of them, but the system itself is very sophisticated. Like, I would feel very sure-footed along here, trundling through this, or happily driving to Tesco's. Just as good, you know. That is amazing. And these aren't even off-road tyres is on this, it's road tyres is on this yoke. It's wild to see what these cars can do. And what Range Rover does, just by default, we hold them up as being a serious off-road car. They are, but even this little baby one that is like the chick's car, or the wife's car, as lads call it, or whatever we want to call it, it is still a serious machine.
I did think that Land Rover had made just another soft roller, and it was all fashion and no guts. There was a part of me wishing that the baby Rangy would grow up and mix it with the big boys, and thankfully, that's exactly what's happened. The Range Rover Evoque is now setting the standard for the small SUV market. The prices in Ireland start at $42,845 for the front-wheel drive manual and $49,595 for the all-wheel drive auto. The range-topping Auto First Edition is €80,065. Jerry McGovern, the design director for Land Rover, told us about the future of the company, as well as a new Defender that's imminently on the way. And as Jerry spent a lot of his childhood in Leitrim, he would know what Irish market's like.
So as you can see, the Range Rover Evoque has turned out to be a really capable machine, both off-road and on the motorway and across that bridge, which is just an adventurous thing to do. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video and you've hit the subscribe button by now. If you haven't, well, what have you been doing up to this point? You should be subscribed. It's been a huge adventure here in Greece. Hopefully we will get to see more of these on the road very soon. But until the next time, I will see you on the far side. Subscribe to changinglanes.ie, because Caroline's been quietly sitting here on the other side of the car for the whole time. She's still sitting there very quietly. Subscribe to Changing Lanes. There you go.